Hello, huge movie fanatic Nate, stopping on by. This time I'm coming at you to basically take a look at the first 8 Friday 13th films in VHS form. Having just reviewed the first 8 Friday 13th movies on this channel, I'm still in the Friday the 13th mood, so I thought I'd share with you my basically VHS collection of the first 8 Friday 13th films. And I'm actually, this is something I recently acquired, probably within the last 10 years. The first couple of movies I've got, if not the very first VHS releases, of these, the first couple movies, these probably the first VHS releases of the first couple movies. And since it's a former video store rental, this, unfortunately, the cover is a little faded, but this is a VHS. I probably, I'm not a huge whatever collector or a historian of VHS or anything, but there's a very good chance this is the very first VHS of this movie because of a feature I'll show you later. But this is the cover and spine, the other side, here's the top, and this is why it might very well be the first Friday 13th VHS tape, because top and, oh my gosh, why is there a thing on the bottom? How do you get the tape out? Well, this is how. I don't know what you'd want to call this VHS case, if it's a gatefold or whatever, but you got basically just repeating Paramount logos on that side, and then this is how you slide the tape out, very much with the same thing Columbia Home Video did in the early 80s, Paramount did as well. There's the tape itself. Now basically this thing is dated 1980 Georgetown Productions. That's the only year on the I can find on the cover or the VHS itself, so I don't know. It's very possible that this VHS tape I'm holding was manufactured in 1980. I'd say if nothing else it was manufactured in 1981, but it's possible this tape was manufactured in 1980, but this is probably a relatively rare VHS for this movie, and I haven't shown you all the sides. I'll just show you the back. Very simple. It's funny how dramatic the rescuing of Nettie looks there, when in fact, unbeknownst to first-time viewers or the characters in the movie, Nettie, the little bastard, is playing a prank on everyone just to get Scrooge on the lips with Brenda. But there's the images that they give you on probably the first VHS release of Friday 13th. But there you go. That's the VHS, an early VHS. Like I say, if not the very first one, and definitely one of the first VHSs of the original Friday 13th. And then I was very lucky to acquire the same thing for Friday 13th Part 2. This cover doesn't look to be faded or as faded as that one. There's the cover for Friday 13th Part 2. There's that spine, this spine, top, and oh my gosh, same thing, bottom. And this is dated, of course, 1981, so I don't know, that's of course the year the movie came out. I don't know if this VHS tape would have been manufactured in 1981 or 82. I don't know when it came out on home video, but it's possible this VHS tape was manufactured in 1981, the same year that the movie came out in theaters. This time around, they actually, instead of having this part of the cover or the case white, they make it blue, which is kind of a cool, I might prefer that look, to be honest, because then it goes with it's a Paramount logo, it's like blue and white, and then you got your OCD Paramount logos over there, and shutting the, I don't know, I'm going to call it a gatefold case. We'll show you the back. They get a little more ambitious with the pictures they give you. They give you 4 pictures, one of which of course is the completely and totally deleted and probably lost footage of the actual makeup effects of the pole going through Sandra and Jeff. That unfortunately they went through a lot of work to make the effect, and MPAA made them cut it out, but it's one of the images, only surviving images of that kill in kind of uncut form. So that's probably, if not, as I said before, if not the first VHS tape of Friday the 13th Part 2, definitely one of the first VHS tapes of Friday the 13th Part 2. So I don't know how long they would continue that gatefold thing. These are the only ones, unfortunately, that I've got that are gatefold. So this VHS tape of Part 3 I actually got new, probably in 1990 or 1991, probably from Suncoast or something back in the day. This one's actually dated on top 1990, so obviously it's not one of the original releases of, you know, the movie on VHS, but this is the one that I bought as a teenager new, Friday the 13th Part 3, and it's really cool. I think out of all the movies, it's the only one to feature, like, I really love the title, you know, in a wooded, it's like wood. The title's in a wooded thing, and of course, since it's on VHS, there's no mention of 3D, just simply Friday the 13th Part 3, but still utilizing the 3D-ish artwork featured in the poster. I think the artwork is really cool for the poster, and it's really cool that they carry it over on the VHS of just Jason on the other side of a shower curtain, 3D, in a 3D fashion, sticking the machete through the shower curtain. Not that that happens in the movie. I also like the, might as well do it like this, the color they choose for the, you know, spine fonts. Pretty cool. And it's cool how, you know, usually on the top Paramount will have a white, you know, it'll be white, but to go with the rest of the sides in the front, they make the top black, and then on the back we've got these pictures here, and we actually get a good shot of Jason in his very first movie with, you know, with the hockey mask. And actually a lot of gore here. They actually show the picture of the kind of the gore and the, what's his name, Andy, split in half. But that's the VHS tape. Unfortunately, it's not original. I got this in probably 90 or 91, but the VHS does say 88 on the tape. So the tape was probably manufactured in 88, and this cover is from 1990. So there's a VHS of Friday the 13th Part 3. And I'm pretty sure for the final chapter it's the same thing. Yeah, this is dated 1990. I got this brand new probably in 1990 or 91 as well. And I'm not 100% sure, but I think this famous artwork for the home video release was created for the home video release. I don't think that artwork was ever featured in a theatrical, you know, ad, you know, / poster campaign for the movie. I may be wrong, but as far as I know, that classic image, which unfortunately has the axe mark on the wrong side of the mask, as far as I know, was created for the home video version, because, you know, the theatrical poster didn't have any images, just basically that saying, and, you know, the little saying it has, you know, and the 3 times before you've known the whatever, and this is the one you've been screaming for, and then just simply the title. So they had to whip up some kind of artwork for the home video release. So there's a spine, there's a spine, there's a top. And it's so funny that they pick as like the biggest picture on the back, like a behind the scenes footage of Tommy Jarvis playing Zaxxon. You can actually see, this still's on a lobby card as well. You can actually see like a crew member. They tried to darken it out, but there's a crew member, you know, sitting right next to him. It's actually, you can see it better on the lobby card. They darken it out really well. On here you can't even see them. But yeah, not the most amazing stills for the back of the box. I mean, you don't get a shot of Jason except for underneath a, you know, blanket on a gurney. But that's my VHS that I got brand new probably in 1990 or 91 of Friday the 13th, the final chapter. Same thing goes with this one. Like around the same time probably I got this. This one, however, is actually dated on the cover 1988, so unlike the last 2 I showed you, this is actually, this tape and the cover was probably manufactured in 1988. And just like with Final Chapter, they didn't use, I don't think they had an image necessarily, except for, I don't know if that one with that Tommy like holding a machete, if that was a foreign poster or what, but I think for the like North American theatrical release, just like Final Chapter, there wasn't an image. So from what I understand, the image of this kind of goofy hockey mask that we never see in any of the films was produced for the home video release of Friday the 13th Part 5 New Beginning. And it actually, you know, it'd actually be kind of cool, and if they ever did any more Friday the 13th or a fan film or something like that, to actually have Jason wearing a mask like that. Just maybe not for a real Friday the 13th, but like a fan film or something like that would be really cool if someone could have Jason wearing something that resembled the mask on the cover of New Beginning here. But here's the cover of New Beginning, and I'll just show you this spine. And then that spine. Which way does it go? Okay, top. And actually, this is some of the best images on a VHS of a Friday the 13th movie. Something that, as a kid, before I started watching these movies, the back of this, you know, particular release always intrigued me. You got a very maniacal-looking Jason, who of course isn't really Jason. And you know, I commented in my review of this movie about the image of, you know, this hot chick with, you know, presumably cutting someone up with a chainsaw. As a child, looking at the back of this cover, I was always like, what the hell is happening there? And then of course we get a kind of gory bit of an image that we don't even see in the final movie of Junior getting his head lopped off. But some of the best images, I like all three images on the back of this VHS. Some of the best images on the back of a Friday the 13th VHS, in my opinion, that's the VHS for Friday the 13th Part 5, A New Beginning. And then they're doing something, this is like, out of the first 8 movies, the VHS for Jason Lives is really kind of cool because, well, first I'll just show it to you. I probably got this new, and you know, around the same time I bought the other VHS is new. This one's dated on the cover 1987. So this is probably, oh okay, the tape is dated 88, which is really weird, and the cover says 87. I probably got this new as well. Here's the cover, or the VHS for that's sporting on the bottom there, 75th anniversary of Paramount on the bottom. VHS for Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives. And what I was saying about this release, or this VHS that's so cool and different from all the other, the first 8 Friday films, is they kind of continue the artwork of the front on the sides, as you can see. Which is the only time in the first 8 movies, or possibly any of the VHSs, that they do that, which is kind of cool. And kind of keeping with the color, overall color of the artwork, the top is blue. And there's that spine, this spine, and this movie starts the, which will happen for 7 and 8 on VHS as well, the single image, kind of the what I would regard as maybe more lazy, just simply using a single image on the back. Although this image is very intriguing. Probably as a child, it looks like Jason's basically coming out of lava, attacking a guy in a boat. You know, I'll show a picture from the digital camera of this so you can see it better, but I mean it really looks like that Jason's basically like the splashed water looks like, you know, just red hot lava. So for someone who doesn't know anything about this movie, this image is really kind of strange. Like, wow, this movie is really going there. Jason's attacking a guy coming out of lava. That's kind of cool, but alas, that of course isn't really what happens. But I mean, I guess, you know, if they're going to pick one image, I guess it's kind of a, you know, definitely a rather exciting image. But there's the VHS release for Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives. It's kind of cool how they put Jason Lives there on the tombstone as well. So there's that VHS tape. So basically, I think, you know, well, actually, well, I think I probably bought all of these brand new, not the first 2, but I mean I've got, you know, other versions, you know, that I bought back in the day, probably 1990 or 91 of the first 2. I'm just not showing you those because I thought I'd show you the cooler, more old versions. So all of these I probably, you know, with the exception of the 2 that I'm showing you of 1 and 2, I bought all the first 8 Friday the 13th films on VHS brand new, come to think of it. And, you know, this is, of course, the most recent movie that was in the video store when I got into these movies, as I mentioned in my review. Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood, which has, in my opinion, one of the best freaking posters slash covers in the series. You know, if you know, after one, of course, which I would regard as the best poster in the series, but I really, really like, I've always liked the image, or the poster for this particular movie. So there's the front. Spine, this is dated 1988, so the other side, top, and continuing with the trend from Jason Lives, we got the single image. And you know, it's always cool if you can actually have Jason be in that single image. So you know, that's kind of a cool image. If you're going to have one single image on the back, you know, that's kind of cool. Jason attacking Nick and Tina there at the end of the movie. So there's a VHS for Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood. And then finishing up the VHS collection of the first 8 Friday the 13th films, we got dated, well, it's dated 1989, but I don't think this came out on VHS until 1990. They're probably just saying the movie copyright 89. Yeah, there's nothing but 89 on it. So another VHS that I imagine I got brand new from Suncoast or something. And again, I think the cover for this one is really colorful and cool. VHS for Friday the 13th, Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. Is there a, nope, there's not a Paramount logo on the bottom center. But yeah, I mean, this is really eye-catching. Like, if you saw this in the video store, just the colors and stuff, that's really eye-catching in my opinion. There's a spine, the other side, top, and continuing the trend of single image. It's, again, it's, you know, it's a relatively intriguing image, which is sporting a shot of Jason and a kind of a lame scene, in my opinion, from the movie. One of many. Just in my opinion, if you like this scene and this movie, that's more power to you. Not saying you shouldn't, but one of the lamer entries in my opinion. So there's the VHS for Friday the 13th, Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. So I thought I'd show you the, you know, I figured a lot of you guys, you know, might not even know what the VHS cases and covers and, you know, the backs of the original VHSs looked like. So I thought, what the hell, I might as well show you, you know, my Friday the 13th VHS collection 1 through 7. So thank you very much for watching this video, and as always, we'll catch you next time.